Okay, we'll go ahead and call to order the Park and Recreation Board meeting Monday, May 27th, 2025, to order at 6:32 p.m.
And then if you do a roll call, we've not done that before, but
That's what I wondered. Okay, so, Angie Williams,
yes.
Sherry Knowles,
Present.
Debbie Ross,
Here.
Jarek Davis, Karen Reed.
Yes, here.
Will we need to introduce Frank for roll call or just members of the board?
And just members of the board.
Okay. All right. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from the April 29th board meeting?
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions or concerns regarding those?
No.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion to go ahead and approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, April 29th, 2025.
And I will second that, as I believe Debbie and Sherry were not present and cannot do that. Okay. Karen, you want to go ahead and give us the financial report?
Sure. Financial report for this month, we have got a beginning balance of $134,054.13. We have receipts of $557.77, expenses of $8,987.83, giving us an ending balance of $125,624.07.
Have we posted the suggested donation amount now?
Yes.
And it looks like most individuals
there's-
are following that. It looks like there's a few that may not.
Right.
Where is it posted at? Just on
It
the
is
paper?
on the paperwork, and then I think there is one down there
Oh,
also.
okay. Forget it.
Yep.
Yeah. Looks like was that Judy Johnson just kind of above and beyond? That one says 150.
Yeah.
And you'll have that.
Kind of balances out some of the
It
others.
does.
Okay. Anyone have any questions or concerns regarding the financial report? Would someone like to make a motion to approve them?
I'll motion we approve as stand.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. No patrons this evening? So we'll be moving on to old and new business.
Is this for the, at 21? Yes, that was all that equipment.
Frank, you wanna go ahead and bring us up to speed on all of the properties?
Yes, ma'am. On the Montgomery Park, I got a hold of Sloan Tree Service. They said that they're aware of it and that they would get to it, but they haven't got to it yet on the removal of the 2 ash trees next to the steps. So I guess I'll have to contact them again. I don't know, I'm sure they're busy with all the storms that they've had. But I will get back a hold of them and keep on it.
Yeah, maybe just keep up with them to make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks with them being busy and they don't forget about us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
And with the playground equipment at Montgomery Park, everything is in working order, nothing needs painted. The new slide is working well. I went down it today.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Did you guys video that?
I went up to check for wasps. Somebody told me that that's where the wasp usually hangs out is
Okay.
under the playground equipment, so that's where I went to look. And that was the easiest way down. But it does go fast.
Were there any wasps?
No, there was no wasp.
You are so dedicated, Frank.
And then the Montgomery Park also, on our poison hemlock, it is all dried up and no evidence of it whatsoever. So the Roundup Max has worked.
Very good.
And on the, shop building, Eric Denning has replaced all of the fascia on the shop building, on all four sides. He left the one gutter up on the basketball court side, just flipped the fascia up behind it. And on the other side, he's gonna have seamless gutter made for it. I also talked to him, and he went ahead and replaced the two pieces of fascia that was blown off of the building, the equipment building up there at the ballpark itself, which I've turned in paperwork for it tonight, for him.
Okay, so Eric has that totally completed at the shop building then, correct?
With the exception of the gutter on the south side. He's gonna have seamless gutter put up there. He did take that gutter all the way down. But all the fascia board is covered and looks great. He
Yeah.
used a heavier gauge textured fascia, which it looked good, looked like wood.
He did a good job getting to it because we just talked about that in April, and so,
Right.
that's awesome.
Which I got to him and told him that we're ready for him to get on with it. So once he moved down to the trustee's office, he went ahead and moved over to there afterwards.
Oh, yeah, that was convenient for him
Yeah.
too then. Very good.
Okay, before we go any further, you know how you talked about the swings, you washed them
Yes,
and they didn't clean up? Well, I looked on the Miracle Equipment, and this is if we can replace them. But they're $230 a swing, and how many do we say?
4.
4. Okay.
Is that just a swing or is that?
I did
It's
pressure wash
probably
them.
the
They
whole-
cleaned up a little bit, but they still look pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
That Req does
Especially
that.
for the baby swings.
Yeah, they get aged.
Yes, they mildewed or weathered, I'm assuming.
I think it would be nice to replace them. I mean, you're taking your little ones there, and if you think they
The
still
little
look
ones
pretty.
are liable to be chewing on them and stuff
I was
like
gonna
that,
say,
you know,
yeah.
which,
What do you think, Debbie?
Yeah, we need to, babies, yeah.
And these are just at the Montgomery Park. It's not over here by the community center, right?
Right,
Okay.
And we just need 4.
I think so. You said just 4?
4 of them.
Do they have like a lifetime, like what's their expected lifetime of them?
I
2 to
can
5
check it
years.
for
These
you.
are the ones that have the
No,
enclosed
that's the
front
age
and
range.
back, not just the chain that goes around, but
Yeah.
it's totally
Yeah.
enclosed.
Okay.
Oh, so the ones we have there, sorry, have the chain.
Pardon?
The ones we have there now just have the chain in the front?
No, they're like.
Oh, they're
The
like
ones we have
Okay.
now over there that we need replaced just have the front and back
Okay,
enclosed.
just like that one, okay.
We have some other ones over on the next playground that has a chain that goes around them to hold them in,
Okay.
but that's for a little older kids.
Yep.
This looks like for a baby, they would sit down good and far. So they wouldn't fall out.
That says 2 to 5 years.
Well, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and purchase 4 swings for replacement.
I'll second that.
Yeah, with the price of $230 per top seat. So hopefully we'll get those in, and maybe next month we'll know
It
they've
won't
been
take no time to
replaced.
replace them. I took the other ones off and took them out to my house and pressure washed them and scrubbed them, and
Mhm.
they helped a little bit, but it still looks pretty nasty.
Yeah. Well, thank you for trying.
No problem. The basketball court, I'm thinking Andy was still in the process of getting a bid on the sealing of it, professionally sealed.
Yeah, the one he called,
Didn't
they
do it.
recommended he call a concrete company to come do it. Was it a lead or something like that he called? That's what he
Yes.
said earlier today.
Well, and in here, yeah, it says he contacted Elite, they deferred him to another company, Eagle Concrete, and then Andy said he'd also reach out to Brad Pohl.
Right.
When you talked with Andy, did he mention anything about, it says Andy, about the camera guy?
No, he hadn't talked to him yet.
Okay,
He
cause he had
hadn't gotten
hoped
back
he'd
with
get
him.
some prices,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
unfortunately, we'll have to defer that until next month.
Yeah.
Anything else for the basketball court, Frank?
The basketball court, no.
Okay, ballpark?
The ballpark, the two pieces of fascia have been put up on the equipment building. The new fence has been installed and it looks fantastic. It really does. The dugouts had the benches installed in them, but the roofs on them, he was supposed to be getting with somebody for a bid on it.
Should have probably asked this back when we started talking about the park, but how about mowing? How do you think that's going? And I know that's always a hot topic at the ball field.
As of right now, I check on it and I talk to Tim on a regular basis. I mean, to me, it looks great.
Okay.
He's not doing a lot of overspraying, you know, to where you got 3 foot beside the fences, he's got it down to like 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
The mowing itself, he alternates and it looks great. I mean, he's leaving a stripe pattern on it,
Mm-hmm.
which looks fantastic. And he's keeping it mowed. He's probably a little less than a week right now on his mowing, but it'll probably slow down once it gets hot.
Right.
We've had a lot of rain.
But right now, it looks fantastic.
Good.
The weeds under the benches, that was always a big complaint, the weeds under the benches being taken care of.
It seems like they have been, there's not a lot of weeds, he has sprayed them at least once, I know. And he has been spraying all the rock, like even the paths down at the Montgomery Park,
Nice.
which I went back and trimmed all the brush and the trees at the cemetery down there,
Mm-hmm.
and the low hanging branches, which makes it easier on him, but it makes it look 10 times better.
Yeah.
Trim the bushes off as you go across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
They was getting to the point where it was probably about a half of the swath to where they've overgrown so much.
Okay, so we'll add that to Montgomery Park as well, that you
Yeah.
have kind of done some maintenance,
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
keeping that
sorry.
trimmed up around the walking path.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
That's okay.
slipped my mind a while ago.
Any other concerns you have down there, Frank? Anything
At
you,
the ballpark,
yeah,
none that I'm aware of.
any of you seen anything that, questions, concerns on it?
I apologize, we need to go back to the Owensville Park, the community park.
Mm?
There's a light out down at the bridge that I'm gonna have to replace. I don't know whether somebody's thrown rocks at it, knocked it out, or,
Oh, they wouldn't do that.
our little children, our little angels.
They didn't paint anything on it too? Okay, how about the community center?
Community center, I haven't seen a leak reappear since the last 3 months ago, I think it was.
That's good.
2 months ago, 3 months ago. I do have some tar that I'm gonna retar the stack around the vent
Mm-hmm.
and see how it holds.
Okay.
It's strange, it leaks on one end one time and the other end the next time, it's hard to trace it down. I can't find out where it's leaking. But we talked about getting some estimates on it, possibility.
Yeah, those roofs like that, they're tough to pinpoint. Well, I'm glad it hasn't leaked anymore. So, do you all think we wanna have someone look at it, or just wait since we've not had any more water come in?
The only time it leaked on the east end is whenever we had a real hard blowing rain,
Mhm.
which I haven't seen anything, I mean, the one time is the only time, and it wasn't very much.
Yeah. Everything was probably just wrong that particular evening to be
Exactly,
right and came on
exactly.
in. Yeah.
The vent ridge is all down and it has a foam guard under it that keeps the snow from blowing. Now, I don't know how much it will keep the rain from coming,
Yeah.
but it does keep the snow from blowing up under the eaves.
Yeah. So you feel comfortable waiting then and
I
see
feel
how it
comfortable
goes?
with it,
Yeah.
waiting
Okay.
to see what happens.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You all good with that?
It might have just been a fluke.
Okay, and it does look like the floor buffing, they are scheduled now for
Yes.
June 9th.
Got that scheduled this morning.
Awesome.
Is
Okay.
that something we're just gonna have them put us on their calendar, or you think it's just wait till we see?
I guess wait until we see, I don't know if they don't normally do it, you know, how Andy was talking, these little jobs, it's hard to get somebody.
I see, yeah.
So it might be something if we can get a buffer ourselves.
Okay.
I don't know. We can talk to them more when they come, or Andy can talk to him, and just
Yeah.
see if it's something we could schedule annually or
Mhm.
whatever.
And sometimes those companies will sell like used buffers and things. I don't know if, is it Hasgo, is that how you
Uh-huh,
pronounce
Hasgo.
it? I don't know if they will, but
Right.
we could maybe look into that too, like a used one wouldn't necessarily need a brand new one like the school might, but,
Right.
okay.
Okay, before we go off of the community center, this past Sunday, there was a wedding reception down there. And a lady that was attending the wedding reception,
You said funeral.
I did not, well, they had to call 911 for her. And the girl that called, she didn't know the address to the place, you know, she tried, and it took them a lot longer to get there, cause she couldn't know the address. So is it something where we can put, like, numbers on the outside of the building? On maybe both sides of the building?
Or painted on the curb.
Yeah, I'd say,
Be like the 911 numbers you have on your mailbox,
Yeah,
possibly of getting
yeah.
them and,
You know, and the ambulance was right there at the station, you know,
right.
but,
yes, I think so.
And can we post the address inside somewhere?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I say,
The kitchen,
put it on the
but
refrigerator,
yeah,
hang it up on the
somewhere.
inside.
yeah, and they were outside, they
Yeah.
hadn't even went into the reception yet,
Oh.
and
Oh,
it
Yeah, I
was,
think we needed both places in,
Yeah.
inside and out, and
she
that's a good
like
idea.
ran out of oxygen and, you know,
Is she okay? Do we know?
I think, yeah,
maybe
That's
paint
good.
it outside somewhere and put a sign up inside.
we could probably find some nice looking house numbers or, you know, maybe even the whole address.
They have them up at Menards, the actual green plaque that you put the numbers on, like you do your mailbox on the road.
Oh,
I'm
we don't
talking
want
more
an ugly
fancy than that.
green. Can, you
What?
don't want the ugly green down there?
So is there still I'm trying to think in my mind, I just went past there.
It's
The other
metal.
day, the metal signs on the corner, right?
Mhm.
I wonder how we kind of have that little porch area. Could we just have like a nice sign made up that says like
Mhm.
community center with like the address and like maybe even it could say, you know, for use, call.
Yeah,
And maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we don't want
No,
to
I
put that
like that.
about
I
the
like
for
that.
use call.
Mhm.
Some people may not even realize.
Well, they're always
They can
asking
use it.
on Owensville Connection, who do you get a
Maybe-
hold of?
Oh, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think the numbers maybe on both sides of the building, cause like I said, she wasn't even in the building yet,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm assuming she was on that side of the
I was
building.
gonna say, they see the fire department, right?
On the parking
They
lot
did.
side.
Okay.
And, yeah,
Just go out the back door.
yeah, so they were just, you know, and she was trying not to panic.
Yeah, so you get in a panic and you don't think
My
straight.
Yeah.
mom,
You
she
don't
was in
think
there,
straight.
just,
Yeah.
total panic.
So I thought, well, yeah, you're right, there is no numbers on there to know
Mhm.
what address it is, so.
I don't know if we could do some, you know what I mean, where it's like
Yeah.
visible, like,
cannot be missed. kinda
Yes.
In your face,
Yeah.
but tastefully.
Yes,
That kinda matches the building, you know, not,
And one on the other side as well, the door?
I think so, each door.
What, like a metal sign?
Something that looks
Mhm.
nice, you
Yeah.
know, so,
and will hold up well.
yeah.
Where do you get something like that done? Do you guys, do they still do it down there where you?
Well, we don't really make signs like that. I mean, we fab some signs for people that are custom, but, really like Alvy signs down in Evansville, we had ones made for each of our buildings that just said like building 1, building 2, and then like a big shipping and receiving sign. So they could probably do something like that, and, they'll actually come out and look at it and, you know, give you
See what-
suggestions and,
Is
Tell
that
you.
actually on the address on Warwick, or is it on Third Street?
Warwick,
Warwick,
I think it's 302,
which is the front of the building, not the back where the kitchen is.
right.
yeah.
So you gotta, Karen, you wanna take care of that, getting home out these signs and see if they
Yeah, we can
come up with something for you?
have some by the next meeting, you know, what it looks like, or,
And I mean, if you wanted to go more local, you know, there's like Signs by Susie,
does
that's,
she do metal?
but I don't know if she does anything
She's
metal.
not been very good lately
Hmm.
about anything.
Really.
But there is some other place. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Out there in the rock garden on the corner might be a good place, you know.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if it's on the building, cause if it's out there, they're not gonna wanna run out there and look at the address.
Who made the new sign over here at REH?
I don't know.
Bottom of the hill, out, it's just outside of
Oh,
town.
Jimco?
Jimco?
Yes. Might be a question.
I can
Don't
check
hurt
with
to
them,
ask, yeah.
you know.
Even
Yeah.
if it's like a metal, you know, and the numbers, it's like cut out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know. Just something that looks nice.
Mhm. Yeah, and something that will wear well,
Yes.
so we're not replacing it all the time. Okay, anything else for the community center?
I think that was it.
Okay, so we still
Yes,
have,
the vents are clean,
Thank you, Frank.
again.
the vents are,
Tammy asked me if I would take the vents over the stove down for her at some point that we could get together. Even though there's not that much cooking there, she thought that they ought to be clean, so I told her I would be glad to
Thank you, Frank.
take them down, so she can clean them, then I'll put them back.
did we have a lot of graduation parties in there?
There is not a weekend day open until October, if that tells you anything.
That's good.
And we're getting into Friday nights even, so.
I booked extras already.
That's awesome. For next year,
They told me I better.
it's a good idea. While you're thinking of it, okay, so how about the playground there at the community center,
The
Frank?
playground at the community center is in great shape, which is newer than the other one, but I mean, everything works good. No need of paint or anything.
And a lot of kids. play
I was getting
there.
ready to say, I feel like there's more kids at that playground than over there, but obviously I'm not like full-time monitoring it, but,
This playground down here, it is used like you would not believe.
really,
It is
good.
surprising how many people actually go down there.
Maybe it's because that's just more visible to
Yes.
us being right by the road.
Between the people doing the walking their dogs, and,
Mhm.
I mean, everything. It surprised me, it really has.
Yeah,
I haven't gone past this one where there's not been somebody
Mhm.
there. That
Mhm.
there, and it's right by my house, so I pass it every day.
mhm,
There's always kids, parents, dogs, always.
yeah. Do people do a pretty good job of cleaning up after their dogs there at the park, or no?
After their parties, it's not too bad. I mean, the kids, they're typical kids, they just throw them down where they're at. I
Yeah,
go through there every morning and pick up trash, which I don't care to do so, it's my job. I wish they'd do it themselves, but
No dog poo issues?
the only dog poop issues is the ones that put it in the can, you know how smelly it can get when the heat gets up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where they need to put it.
They
Yeah.
pick it up in the library yard and put it in the trash cans out here.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, I'm glad they're picking it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than being out in the yard and stepping in and. That's
Kids
fine.
come trekking into the library.
As long as I keep the cans empty, which I
Yeah.
think I have been.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think that leaves for us the REH Center.
The REH Center on the outside, I've seen no issues. I think they're still having issues with the floor on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
which last I was kinda told that they don't think that they can re-sand it and seal it. I think we have one graduation party that's coming next weekend. And other
In the
than that-
REH?
Yeah. Other than that, it's been a pretty slow 2 weeks.
Then we're done. It,
Huh?
it closes on the 31st,
Mm-hmm.
and there might be a camp there,
Summer camp or,
yeah, for 3 evenings in June. They haven't got back with me to say, it's the Christian school over Mount Carmel.
okay,
And it'd be like 4 o'clock to 8. But
No
they'll
problem.
get back with me.
no
Playing
problem.
volleyball?
I don't know what they're gonna do.
Okay. Mm. Yeah, so I guess the floor, that's really kind of a REH board, and they're working to raise the money, try to raise the money for that, right? That's the campaign, that's about 35,000, is that right, Angie?
I think that's what they said.
Okay. And we'll just continue
There
to.
was an issue with some boards that was, fell out of the rafters up there,
Uh-huh.
but they got that under control. Moats come in and had some scaffolding or some lids and got
Uh-huh.
them out,
Mhm.
which Stacy pretty much headed that up,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, 'cause they had to construct a sled or something, didn't they, for the lift to go out on the floor?
yes,
Get
they
downstairs.
put plywood down for it to go on.
So did they just remove all of those boards?
Yeah.
And they weren't needed?
There was no purpose for them to be there.
Did they think they might have had hung banners from them at one point?
At one point they might have, they had tar and like tar paper on them and
Oh,
tar,
okay.
but we seen no structural
Purpose.
purpose of them whatsoever. It was right in the very center.
Oh, thank goodness they didn't hit anyone.
Thank goodness nobody was under it when one
The
fell.
alumni banquet was just a couple weeks before that.
Mhm. We'll say thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
I have a question about the REA Center. When I used to go walk in there, I remember when I reported that everything was getting moldy. Okay. Where is all the stuff that used to be on the walls?
In the cases, the last librarian had it taken down to have it archived, and it never got put back.
Wonder how we can get that. It should be back.
Yes, it should be back.
So where was it archived at, do you know?
It never got archived. It was supposed to get archived, and it never did.
So it's just laying somewhere?
I think some of it's at the chapter 2 building. I think most of it's at chapter 2. We just need some bodies to put it back in. That's the reason we put other things in some of the cases, like we did a thing for Child Mayor, we did one for King.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's why.
I know I'm not
A lot
on
of
the
people are upset
alumni
about
board,
that.
but the child mayor case, to me, needs to come out. That does nothing at all about Gibson Southern, it's all about North Posey High School and Princeton High
Well,
School.
now he's an Owensville guy.
Pardon me?
He's an Owensville guy.
Well, I can't help it, I am too, but you don't take my business down there.
Do you wanna be the one to tell Chad that?
I'll tell him.
You shouldn't have asked that question, because I knew
Well,
what
I
you
mean,
would say.
what he's doing is, he's promoting Princeton and
Well,
Poseyville,
he's-
the places that he worked.
we brag it on him, is what we were doing, brag it on him.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Okay.
I know there was a lot of
No, I'm
really nice.
I'm sorry, I can't keep my
Not
mouth
there
shut.
anymore.
Yeah.
They just had mud on them.
So the things that are down there, is that something that the REH board oversees, or is that something that we
Should be
oversee?
the alumni oversee it, and Margot was
Okay.
on the alumni, so
Okay.
that's why.
So it still really needs to be archived before it's put up.
Because they were using like actual photos, and a lady came from USI and said, oh my gosh, you guys should not use actual photos, they will deteriorate. And some of the newspaper clippings had just disintegrated,
Mm-hmm.
so she told us to put copies back in there. So
Uh-huh.
we were gonna make nice copies, and then happened, you know, and Kyle came in, so none of that happened.
So I'm just asking because I know sometimes the REH Center, lots of questions get asked from all of town, park, alumni board, REH board. So, does the library staff actually have time to make those copies so that those items can ultimately end up back down there? Or is that something that like maybe some high school students that, you know, are in, I don't know, yearbook or journalism, I'm just thinking a class where, or even like for history or something, if they were, you know,
Given this.
notable at their skill, if they could come in and do that and get it taken care of, you know, through some like community service and then get it put back up.
That would be nice. I don't, as far as staff at the library, you'd have to ask Kyle about that. But,
Well, I'll bring that up at,
okay.
is the board meeting on the 10th? I'll be back the day before that, I'll be back, so I'll bring it up with him so we can get it taken care of, because I've heard this conversation come up in,
It's been coming up
different
since it
meetings.
happened, so.
mhm.
And I will say that Todd's case is the one that gets moldy. Does that help you any?
Yeah.
When it rains
I'll
really
just-
bad, that one gets moldy a little bit.
I'll just zip it.
Okay.
Okay. You just had to, didn't you?
Well, I had to tell him, what, 3 times before Margot did anything about it, that everything was getting moldy, she just.
It was coming in from the ceiling there, and that one was just, I had to repaint it.
Like class jackets were getting moldy and it was.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen again, but it may. We just need to try to do a good job at preserving all of that
Maybe a
because.
dehumidifier.
Cool.
We have those now downstairs,
Yeah.
and they put a drain down there, and it directly goes to the drain.
Oh, that's good too.
Yes.
Sometimes those are forgotten and it's like, oops, that's a mess now. Okay, any other business? Last meeting, we were talking and, Sherry and, Debbie, since you weren't here, Andy had kinda, you know, mentioned, let's be thinking about things for budget, kind of ideas, things that we think would be good for the town. Keep that in mind. And then, how are we doing on the, tables and chairs? Did we get all those donated?
No, they're still down there. We've only gotten rid of a few of them. So I think,
Did we kind of push that out, that they were available if people wanted to take them?
Do the community planners not want them, or?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I know there's one individual that was wanting some. It was, CT Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
Wanted some. I don't remember how many he wanted, but
For the American Legion?
no, he didn't say. Did he? No? Okay. So, it's all right for him to have some, you know. And I don't know how many tables are down there. Do you know?
Is it the heavy ones, or is it those?
No, but I'll get back with you
Those
on
gray
that.
ones?
I
I can
think
get
it was
a
just the
count.
heavy ones, wasn't it?
I'll get a
Heavy
count of the
ones.
good tables and the ones that actually need pitched
Mm-hmm.
in both places, community planners area and community center,
Okay.
if that'd be okay. What about the metal
probably need a count on how many's there and how many we're wanting
Yeah,
to donate to whoever.
I did change all the ones out up on the REH, up on the top that did not have rubber caps under the,
Thank you.
you
That
are
needed-
welcome.
That needed done.
I think that's what's chipping some of the paint.
Do we need to buy some rubber tips for the other ones, or did you just get rid of them?
That's the only thing wrong with them, they're just missing the tip, so yes, I think we could replace them.
Probably,
But if we're gonna get rid of a lot of chairs, I don't know.
do we have, so they're down in the shop building, is that where they're at? Or are they in the
Most of the
side
chairs are in
building,
the
the
community
north
center.
side?
But the ones that we was talking about with the rubber caps missing
Uh-huh,
is down at the REH center.
okay,
That was up on top whenever you come through the door, where they have their birthday parties and such.
yeah,
I forget how many of them there was, 14 or 15 had caps off of them, so I put all them over on the rack and took the ones off the rack and swapped them out
yeah,
to keep that from scratching.
makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, it does.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, Frank,
You're so welcome.
yeah.
Could we use a couple more of those tables at the REH Center, or do you think it's pretty maxed out?
It's pretty maxed out, they're pretty crowded in between, really.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we can always hold on to them, but then if they start becoming an issue for storage, you know,
Right.
and we're not ever touching them,
I'll look 'em up
if someone
and
could
see
put
what
good
they
use
cost.
to them.
I don't think they do much.
Okay. Any other questions before we move on to claims then? Okay. Has everyone had a chance to review them? Have any questions or concerns?
Did you have to put the bead together, or did they come and do it themselves?
I put it together.
Okay, just bolts?
No, it was, 3 pieces that actually bolted to the concrete down
Oh.
underground.
Okay,
I bolted them together, then I bolted the bead
okay.
back to it, to the braces that come up. And on the slide, I had the guys from the town help me with it, there's no way one guy
Well,
could have done
no,
that.
no.
But 3 of us wrestled it for probably an hour and a half and got it.
I should know this by now, but can we adjourn even though we're wait?
We usually do it after, so.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure I was following suit properly. What is that where it says short?
Is that the payroll?
Yes,
That's for Chris's final.
Oh,
He turned in his very last time card,
okay,
so that's what it is. So we've done him separate from the other ones.
Oh, you guys have to pay a water bill. Give me a call and see if we can't get it cheaper.
Good luck with that one.
I got a backlog, sorry Sherry.
Did that gas company ever hire anybody? Well, Jerry went to the school.
Oh, he did? Didn't know that.
He got on as a janitor.
Who did you say?
Jerry Sparks. No, his brother worked.
Mikey?
Mikey, I'm talking about Mikey. Jerry works there, but his brother Mikey got on there.
put together.
No, that's by itself, this is just. credit.
This gets filed with claims.
You're the only one.
You all missed it.
You missed
And
it?
she's happy about it. She's a little evil.
What'd we screw up? What did we do?
Second sheet.
Oh, sorry.
Second verse, same as the first.
But you want this one handed back to you, right?
As soon as everybody else,
So, I mean, that,
yeah,
not getting,
Here,
messing
sign
with
this
the
and hand
flow
it
of
back.
things.
oh, then. Do you have those things for Menards?
Yeah, do you need those back?
I need a copy,
Okay.
cause I was
Every
like,
one of them?
oh, I need one to put with it.
Was this,
It's just a credit. Angie had called and talked to them a few months ago. And they
Oh, and they were
adjusted the
charging
bill.
us too much.
We're still working off the credit.
do you need us to initial it or
No,
anything?
no, I'm just filing it with these.
Okay.
What is Charles Cutting Crew? Oh, is that his name of
Yes,
his
that's
mowing?
the name of the.
Carton Crew, yeah. Tim's,
Cutting Crew.
Charlie's Cutting Crew.
Well, I don't know who did this invoice, but it looks pretty nice.
Oh, I colored it.
Oh.
Cause it was like, oh, it's getting confusing.
I do that with the Amazon bill.
Alright, count those.
You need a calculator.
Do you know how much our bill's gonna be from now on? Or do we know yet?
I do not know.
Be better than what it was.
Yeah. Here, you do it. I didn't, I only got halfway down, give up.
Read mine, I'm sorry.
It's yours.
I'll try to do better.
No.
My handwriting's sloppy.
Let's see, if you get the same number he gets, then you'll have him sign it. I cannot get that number. So I get 37.5. Let's do it together.
What did you do?
Is this a 5?
I did it as a 5, yeah.
That's probably the same one we.
So, I have a question. There's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. Then I go 24, 25,
Oh, that's good.
32.
That's good.
33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Oh, 48, okay, I missed that one, 48.
And a half. Is this a half year?
I took that as 3 hours.
Okay. Is this a half?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see a half.
So we're up to 48.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
I went to do it.
I know I did. I'll get better.
45. So I have 45. 48 and a half, okay, I got it. We're not gonna count it again.
I apologize.
No, you're good, it's us, you had it. I just had to get the right number. It was those half marks we were missing, I think we were missing half marks.
Okay, so, we ready to adjourn? We'll go ahead and call the meeting adjourned at 7:17 PM. The next meeting will be Tuesday, June 24th at 6:30 PM. And sorry, I've never